we end, let's address a few of the questions from Facebook.
Okay.
Do you guys think that there should be a discount per fart
For strippers.
for every time a stripper farts?
Yes, I thought that was a no-brainer. He said unpopular opinions. I was like, no, that's very popular.
During lap dance, she has to continue going, and then you get a free one afterwards.
Fair.
And that would be the best thing ever. Just be like, nah, bitch, you farted. You farted. You owe me another one. You stink. You owe me another one.
But if she did it, if she farted and didn't say anything, are you going to call her out on it?
I think I would have to. I think I would laugh.
You'd really call her out on it.
It would have to
I
be
wouldn't say anything. I know me. I'm gonna be honest. Everybody else will lie, but I'm gonna be honest.
You would
I would
hold
never.
it in, and
I
then,
would laugh. I would laugh when it happened, and I would never say anything. It would be
you would
like,
tell all your friends.
I agree 100%. I wouldn't say anything, and then as soon as I get out of there,
yeah,
I'd be like,
this shit farted all over.
But anyone else used to just fart while getting a lap dance as a straight power move.
you and your power. Dude. I gotta tell my power
Keep
move
going.
story.
Power move.
Keep going.
You hold the 20 up in the air like this.
You know that's got to happen all the time. Dudes have to bust that. Like somebody's on top of them. Like you're fat and like you got a little extra gas in there.
Oh my god.
Oh
my god.
I'm sure lots of chicks get farted on.
You had a story.
They won't. Maybe they.
Tell a story. Fuck it.
Yeah. You said you were going to tell a story about.
Oh, that's it. I'll tell it the next.
A power story.
A power struggle story. The next podcast. I could tell it now.
Just tell it. We can use as much shit as we can on this.
So
Power plays with
there's
that should be a segment.
You might want to save.
Can we do this?
Save some bullets in that chamber. Save them for.
there's
This should be an ongoing. Like we could just do a power plays segment from now on. So where like every week somebody wants to bring like you tried to fart on the mic and then give it to me before we started.
So
I know the deal.
The audience should know that at one time, multiple times, everyone in this room has lived together.
Yeah, for years and years. And years.
Since I've probably lived with you guys longer than I haven't. Almost. Oh no, probably true.
Yeah, I think that we should make that clear, right? Like
but we've known each other.
We've all known each other for over 20 years.
And we all lived at one time in a house on 30th Street that I still live in with my family. But we all lived there
If these walls could talk.
together and had many adventures and stories that will come out over the podcast, I'm sure. But one thing that was true then and is true now is that we had a next door neighbor that we affectionately call Wrinklehead.
Wrinklehead.
Sharpay.
Like three hot
yeah.
dogs were constantly resting on the back of his neck.
No, it's not just the hot dog neck, dude. They run up.
of it.
Remember, they run up.
There, lots of vertical striping.
His brain
Yeah,
was
I ain't
pushing out
gonna
on
cap at someone for having hot dog neck, dude. That's fine, but like
Maybe.
the Sharpay, the wrinkles that run up his scalp, like from the back to the front, like Mr. T. Trihawk. And
His skin was just a thin glaze. Just a thin adhesive glaze over
grabbed
the
it.
bulging brain that was wrinkling.
And people
Like
need
a
to know about
goddamn
Wrinklehead
Bond villain.
for this story. People need to know that he's a very tall,
But
large Mexican.
what do we know his real nickname to be? I think that paints the picture. His real
don't know.
nickname is Loco. Like back in the day, Juan
He used to run with
on
him?
the other Juan on the other side they call him straight up like that instead of like, as his name.
Yeah. Whose
So-
name I do know, but I'm not going to
Yeah,
say.
we're not gonna say his
But he's
But
6
Juan's
foot
calling him
something.
Straight up, well, I thought that was his name. I was
6
like,
foot something, large Mexican man
With a wrinkled ass head.
with a wrinkled ass
Super
head.
wrinkly head.
Who, to tell my story, I have to quick tell another story. I came home one time with this tall white guy named Adam. And like we pull up to the house and Wrinklehead's sitting on his porch with Juan, the other neighbor, and they're drinking and they are way drunk. And they call it, "Hey neighbor, come over." And we're like, all right. And
He can talk like that because he's half Mexican.
and they're like, "Y'all want a beer?" And we're like, "Yeah, we want a beer." And they give us a beer. This Adam, this tall, goofy-looking white guy, Wrinklehead just kept turning to him and going, blowing them little kisses. And you're just like, damn. And Adam was getting really uncomfortable, but we're trying to pull it off because he's Wrinklehead's really intimidating.
Scared.
But then he would just stop the conversation, just turn and look at Adam and go, and blow him a little kiss. So he's terrifying. That's my point. Like this guy, and then his house gets broken into all the time.
And he seems to have a very nice house.
He has
but he
beautiful
always
cars.
For the longest, homie had a Round Table.
No, he
pizza.
still works at Round Table.
He works at Round Table. Has a nice ass. Has a lot of shit. I'm just saying.
Has a nice house. Has brand new cars for his entire. Like his daughters have brand new
Everybody,
cars,
Shitload of kids.
and it gets broken into all the time. We're like, oh, this guy's a drug dealer. Like,
Money's getting cleaned.
so this guy is a terrifying prison gay, kind of like power gay, like not really gay, but like I'm going to use that over you. Tall, wrinkle-headed Mexican dude, and I'm.
Again, you're Mexican.
I'm allowed to say this.
Yes, okay. Let's just.
Oh, but he makes me feel white. Anyway, one day I'm out in front of my
It's
house.
a terrible feeling.
It's awful, dude. I'm like, oh, genocide.
That's why I make memes.
I'm in front of my house, and he goes over. He's like, "Hey, neighbor." That's what he always says to me every day. Every time he sees me, "Hey, neighbor." I'm like, what's going on, Wrinklehead? And he's like, "You want to come see my new bathroom?" And I was like,
I will say yes because I'm scared.
Yeah, I'll say
okay,
yes.
so let's just break this down.
Let me
Let's
tell
unpack
my wife where she can find me real quick.
I'm
He's like-
scared to say
he's
no
like-
this.
to
You have
you,
to say
sir.
yes.
yeah, oh,
Yeah.
God,
He's
yes.
your
He's
neighbor.
like-
I mean,
he's like, I was like, what are you doing some construction? He's like, I put in a new shower head. It lights up. The kids love it. I was like, all right, bro. Okay, let's go. I've lived next door to him for 20 fucking years.
Yeah, never.
Never been inside of his house. And we go in, and I'm like following him. He's like, come on, man. And we go into his house. It's a nice house. It's real nice inside. And he takes me to a room, and the bathroom, and he opens the door. And he's like, come on in. And I was like, all right. And I come in there, and it hits me like a fucking punch to the face. Like, if you've ever followed someone into a restroom who just took the fattiest Duke, and it's like that thick air.
He power played this fucking.
Humidity has raised.
Humidity
raised.
heavy, smelly, thick air that you feel like hit your face
like, "Oh,
and
this is
peel
gonna
back your
stick to
skin.
me."
And the toilet seat's up, and he like doesn't say anything. He walks over and he closes the toilet seat. That's his.
Yeah, it's power move, dude.
That's how much. By the way, no one else is home. None of his kids are there. His wife isn't there. No one's home.
See, I think you need to recognize how important it was that he closed the toilet seat.
Yeah.
Because that's his acknowledgement to like, oh, I know it smells.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I know it
Oh, yeah.
smells.
Dude, this is psychological warfare.
But he doesn't say a
Dude,
word.
He does stuff
He
like
doesn't
that.
say a word. He walks in. It's not a big bathroom, right? And we're both in there together. And he shuts the toilet seat, doesn't say a word, and it smells. It's like that acidic, spicy shit that's like burning my nostril.
Your
and
eyebrows
and
are
I
like-
can feel the air on my
Yeah.
face. Like it was disgusting. Doesn't say a word, and I'm stuck in his bathroom with him, and he shuts the door, and we're both in there in this small enclosed space. He goes, "Look at this, Holmes." And he turns on the shower, and it comes out of the shower head, and the shower head is clear, and it lights up with different color LEDs. That's it. It just
Yeah.
lights up.
They're like $10, and they're just screw on shower
Different
heads.
color LEDs. I'm like dying. And I'm like,
This was totally worth taking a year
cool,
off my
dude.
life.
Anyway, my wife's gonna be wondering where I am. I should be getting back. And he opens the door, and we fucking walk out. Not once did he acknowledge, besides the gentle closing of the toilet lid,
That was enough.
did
Man.
not once mention.
You just took us on such a ride, and then you brought it back. And I remember now that we were talking about stripper farts,
We were.
and that's where this came from. That was great. Thanks.
Anyway, I
was something.
call Zach over there just to tell him the story about having to smell Wrinklehead shit, not thinking anything besides it's Wrinklehead shit. And Zach says, "That's a power play, bro." And Zach says,
Power play.
"You know what you have to do." Do you remember this? And I was like, "What?" He's like, "You're like, no." You're like, "You need to invite him over to see your bathroom." can't leave a shit in the toilet.
Yeah, deuce him full, deuce him like 2-0 knows how
What
to do.
now, motherfucker? What now? This is a meeting place for misfits, ne'er-do-wells, nonconformists, the oppressed, and the marginalized. It's refuge for refuge, a squared circle for square pegs, a ringside seat for the doomed generation to cheer on the death of the American dream. We believe, as we circle the drain, the best course of action is to enjoy the ride. Abandon all hope and embrace the surrender. Welcome to the LaCroix Underground.
Beautiful. Fuck me right.
Yeah, we're recording right now.
Yeah, we've been recording.
We'll just throw that commercial on.
Oh, like again?
I haven't seen it.
The Gillette
I haven't-
one.
No,
Oh,
the
the Gillette.
legit one.
Yeah, we'll
yeah.
cold open
Sorry.
talking about it, and we'll just do like 5 on the commercial.
That's funny. I haven't seen it either, but it's like it's. I know what it's gonna say. It's like
I have no
basic.
idea. I don't know anything about this whatsoever.
Oh, this is awesome.
I just know it's a thing, but I don't even know what it's a thing about.
Short film, they're calling it.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Bullying.
The Me Too movement against sexual harassment.
Masculinity.
Is this the best a man can get? Is it? We can't hide from it.
Sexual harassment is taking over.
It's been going on far too long. We can't laugh it off.
Who's the daddy?
What I actually think she's trying to say.
Making the same old excuses.
Boys will be boys. Boys will be boys. Boys will be boys.
But something finally changed.
Allegations regarding sexual assault and sexual harassment.
But she says
And there will be no going back. Because we believe in the best in men.
Men need to hold other men accountable.
Smile, sweetie. Come on.
To say the right thing. To act the right way.
Bro, not cool. Not cool.
Some already are. In ways big
Yo, men. Oh, shit.
and small.
I am strong.
But some is not enough.
It's not how we treat each other, okay? Okay.
Because the boys watching today will be the men of tomorrow.
All right. I mean,
All right, we're gonna do it, guys. We're gonna talk about it.
how are we going to attack this from like the whole
All right.
weird latching on the movement aspect of it, or
Definitely
just
what we-
how ham-handed and terribly made it was from a craft perspective?
No, I don't really want to critique the short film, but like, we definitely need to mention like, you know, the corporatization of like of
yeah.
a SJW movement.
We just played the Gillette ad, you know, in case anybody cares. So, you know,
Give
it
'em
just
their-
came
give
out
'em
a
their
couple
clicks.
days ago. We're here on a Wednesday night, super rainy outside, so we're gonna keep it in. Let's do it.
Yeah. So
It's this. It reminds me of the largest thing. It would be the Kaepernick thing, right? That just happened. That worked out fairly well for Nike and Kaepernick.
yeah,
I don't have a problem with the
And
ad at all. I
Serena.
think it's great. I think it's fine. It's totally fine.
They did the same thing with Serena.
I'm not familiar with that one.
So
I don't
sexist.
really see commercials, you know, like
Yeah,
I don't-
that's
I
the
don't
other
have
thing.
a
I caught
TV
on to this
anymore.
late.
So I actually had to look this up on YouTube, and at the end of the fucking day, it's a fucking razor company that made a video to go viral, right? Tagging into a movement,
Right.
a rather successful movement,
Right.
with the intent of going viral, and us talking about it
Right.
is adding to
Yes.
like this corporate agenda,
This is playing well into their hands for sure.
and like, you know, fuck them.
Yeah.
Like I don't give a shit about Gillette.
Yeah, I don't buy razors, homie.
But
Ain't that the truth?
I was on Facebook the other day, and a good friend of mine posted the video, a female friend of mine, and dude, the response on her Facebook was putrid.
Okay, so putrid in the way that I see. So there's two different ways to look at putrid. There's the liberal clamoring, right, which is kind of funny and gross, and this is amazing, this is the greatest thing ever, and it's like, okay, right, like we should know this already. That's one. The other gross thing is any of these, Fox News MRA guys getting all butthurt. So which type of putrid are we talking about?
I'm talking about the attack. Like one of the comments was, "I don't believe in toxic masculinity. It's a word made up by feminists. Why is there no toxic femininity?"
Right. So those people are just, yeah, man. I mean, I don't know how to address those folks, but
like if it's just the people who are offended by this ad.
Yeah.
Yeah, the people that are
take it as a
offended could kick
challenge.
fucking rocks. Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like, and then we can, on one hand, like, should a corporation use a movement for advertising purposes? And I think the answer is no, right? But then on the other side of that,
We want corporate
is
responsibility.
a corporation finally, like, in the ideal society, it won't exist.
Yeah, but in a society where
it does,
where 80% of the population sits and they
virtuous
watch,
as best they can. That sounds gross.
I mean, I don't know.
The negative reaction to it almost makes me think like, oh shit, maybe there's some validity to making this commercial. Like, oh my god.
Well, and I will say that I've talked about it with women, and with usually significant other with my girlfriend about like these types of issues because we're a tight knit friend group for 20 some odd years that's had some like ancillary people around, but like we know the type of like community we keep. And I always thought I felt kind of inwardly like these might be overblown things. Like you said, like I don't see a need for that commercial, but I'm not a woman, and every woman I talk about sees a need for it. And I'm like,
a weird bubble.
We're in a bubble.
I think most of us here, like, do you even have a cable bill?
No.
Would you see a commercial like this unless somebody told you about it?
No.
I didn't even know this thing existed.
well,
right?
and you wouldn't hang out with dickheads
Like,
that
we
do
all
the
cut
shit
the
that happens
cord,
in the
so, like,
commercial.
but I think
we all watch that. We're all the dickheads. And
80,
that's the
80% of the American public that pays for cable. I don't know if it's 80%. I don't know. But it's seeing that commercial. Maybe that's good for those people.
Well, it's good for us, is what I'm saying. Like even like us. In our last podcast, we talked about people who age out of the cultural zeitgeist that they're in, and I grew up, perhaps the last generation, to find Animal House funny, to find
serious. I used
MASH
to love that movie.
funny, the movie, not the show. Show will forever be funny, but like the
Soul Man.
the movie is like so sexist, and like, but we don't even notice. Like,
Right.
I mean, as a kid,
Right.
it was like my parents sitting me down like, watch this is hilarious, and we laugh at it, and then we grow and like figure out we can do better as people. I was listening to I wish I can credit him, an interesting guy speak about racism, and he equated it to climate change. And what he's saying is that everyone in this room, and presumably most people listening to this cast, we all believe in climate change.
I fucking certainly hope so.
But have we changed
or
our
else you're going to get
habits?
banned tomorrow.
Have we changed all of our habits that contribute to climate change?
Oh, probably not all of them, no.
No, not even close, right?
Right.
And it's the same thing with racism. Most Americans, even like Trump, I believe him that he thinks he's not racist. Like most Americans don't think that they're racist, but they haven't changed the habits that they have, that they grew up in, that are normalized to them.
Yeah.
They haven't changed them to not
Right.
be racist,
Like,
because they don't know that they have them. There's no that self-analytic, analytic.
Yeah, Bobby
part of their
McGee
brain
did not
doesn't
think that
exist.
she was being racist. Or offensive.
What's it?
Bobby
Bobby
McGee
McGee
did not think she was being offensive.
Callback.
Hey.
Right.
Okay.
You gotta
And
listen.
with the women's movement, again, we all agree that like these things shouldn't be happening. And maybe this particular video is a little basic, but it's a fucking
It's a
advertisement.
dramatization.
No,
of
I
what's
think
going
it's
on.
I think it's good for a lot of people that are like, oh, maybe
But
I've
it's
heard
good
this
for
word
us too to remind
Yeah.
us.
Sure.
Have we do we consider ourselves sexist? And the answer is probably no. But have we changed all the habits that we grew up with
Yeah, no, that's
that
a good call.
perpetuate sexism.
So here's a question for you. This is an ad made by Gillette, made by Procter and Gamble, who, they're a multi-billion-dollar corporation. Which is a given that they just do heinous shit. Are we expected to distinguish the art from the artist on this? In the same way we're not allowed to do that for Roman Polanski and Woody and stuff, Like, is this whole thing null and void because it's made by a horrible, horrible corporation?
Yeah, are we going to think fondly upon Gillette now because they did this ad more so than we normally would have before?
Maybe.
If anything, Gillette has done their job because it's probably the first time I fucking said Gillette ever.
Yeah. I used to get those book covers in high school to teach you how to shave if you didn't have a dad. Thanks, Gillette.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Really? I totally do. There was totally like shaving tip. Maybe I went to a different kind of high school than you guys.
Well,
yeah,
maybe.
There's the levels to it. Like I said earlier,
It's
are
a
we going to attack this for the
win,
craft of
win
making this film? But
for
there's
Gillette.
also the message, and then there's like
Right.
who's delivering this message, and does that who's delivering the message and validate the message? I think we all agree that the message, however ham-fisted it might be, is a valid message that
Absolutely.
needs to be spread. Is it invalidated by
Yeah.
the person spreading the message or the entity?
I'm a big separate the art from the artist. Like when you talk about Cap and Nike,
Yeah.
like I think Nike galvanizes Cap's like publicity. Like it's a big aid to
so
what
Nike
he's doing.
won, Kaepernick won,
Yeah,
Gillette wins.
for sure.
We'll see whether or not toxic masculinity loses.
So you're saying,
Yeah, that's right.
Jeff, you're
NFL's still winning though, right? Like,
yeah.
Jeff, you're saying you're going to keep listening to R. Kelly.
Nah, see, I never really was I only liked the remix to Ignition. That was my shit. But
To wrap our whole conversation in a little bit of a bow with Gillette, okay, they get props for this commercial, but then we can tie in the whole Kaepernick thing with the Gillette family and owning the New England Patriots.
Damn.
And they sure as shit we're not going to give Kaepernick a shot. So
No.
Is that true?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Well, again, is it an advertisement or are they really
Yeah.
like?
Because they changed the
Disney-
slogan too. Because the slogan's now the best a man can be or whatever.
What was it before?
The best a man can get.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Well, Disney, evil empire, right? Huge corporation. But I felt, now it's a little bit moot, but I felt better about giving them my money when I had to, because they were an early acknowledger of like gay partners for health insurance and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was cool, but that's an action.
Yeah, if
Disney's
if your
actually-
choice amongst the field of turds is the shiniest one, then
Yeah, but I think the question is, it's like, okay, the message of the commercial,
great.
valid, awesome.
Totally.
The person making this message, not great. Are they purely like? How cynical are we? How cynical are they?
We're very cynical. I think they actually have balls to do the commercial because it's obviously not been done, so somebody's got to do it.
Not everyone agrees with it. Yeah, obviously, there's people that are bucking against this
but
message.
just like I think it's going to play well for them. I think there'll be people that are buying Gillette and not buying their other brand.
And I think that's a perfect segue into we got our first sponsor, and now you can hear a word from our first sponsor.
Are you tired of ads telling men to be better? I mean, where are the ads telling women to have better titties and shit? Dollar Shave Club is not for pussies unless you are a chick that likes to keep it bald down there, and in that case, props. Dollar Shave Club is for men who know that the manliest thing you can do is remove your body hair and return to the natural look of a prepubescent boy. Let boys be boys. Dollar Shave Club, because bros before hoes and Gillette is gay. Dollar Shave Club, real men never let the word no stand in their way.
Back.
All right.
Oh, we're all laughing at how funny that was.
Yeah, Gillette. I don't know. Hey, we'll see. I'd like to see what their what their stock numbers were before they made this commercial.
What? Who the fuck else are you gonna buy? I mean, except for
Well, I don't buy anybody. I
Except for
haven't
the
shaved in 2
mail
years.
order, like you go to the store, it's fucking Gillette, dude.
Yeah.
Gillette
I'll
or
be real,
Kirkland or
I
something.
buy-
Gillette was probably a year away from fucking going out of business.
No, I'm saying that Gillette has a
I
monopoly
haven't
on
bought.
razors, man.
I haven't bought a name brand razor since I was like 18 years old.
I
Right.
use the
I don't shave,
1970s safety razor,
Ooh,
where you
nice.
just replace the blade because I'm a little conscientious guy. But
You do it for the cool factor.
can I tell you guys something I'm really excited about?
Huh.
2020.
2020.
Like, I really am. Like.
Tell us why exactly. You
Well,
told me
like-
earlier. It's funny.
I'm so excited.
It's a fucking
It's gonna
future,
be
man.
like get the popcorn, like that gif of Michael Jackson eating the popcorn. Like super excited because it's gonna be such a beautiful disaster, and it's a little bit like taking like your cancer-ridden father to Disneyland for his last time, where it's like this is gonna be so fun. But every time you stop, it's like, oh my God, this is so sad.
Jesus Christ.
That's the 2020 campaign, dude.
Oh, why are you so right
In a
now?
fucking nutshell.
There is
It's a disaster.
no
It's such a shit show.
It is real bad.
Dumpster fire for sure.
So, on the
We're gonna break down. Yes, we're gonna do something different. We're gonna do a couple episodes this week, next week that are gonna have some returning themes. One of them's gonna be 2020. So I think we're gonna break down some 2020 candidates tonight. We'll break some down next
Skim a
week.
few off the top.
And as they keep popping up out of the weeds, we'll
Keep
light them
knocking
up
them
for all
down.
their
well, for the best we
blasphemous
can. I
policy.
think it's going to be. I think I looked it up on Wikipedia, and right now there's something like 113 declared Democratic candidates, but those are like
they're
the
sketchy
crazy
fools,
people,
yeah.
like. And so we're probably not going to talk about them. We're going to talk about like the big, like
Yeah.
who's the media covering, and even then, I think it's going to get out of hand. I think we're going to have 25.
So we are almost exactly, 2 weeks away from being exactly a year out from the Iowa caucus.
Yeah.
So is there going to be a winnowing before then, or is it just going to be just like they're literally going to enter the Iowa caucus with like 25 candidates, you think? for the
There's
primary?
7 major declared candidates
They're
right
gonna
now.
do what the Republicans did in 2016.
Oh, it's going to be even bigger, bro.
It's going to be
Yeah.
even worse because they're actually the Republicans will fall in line after a while and just go, full tribal and just vote down the line.
Yeah.
But these guys are going to tear each other apart, and these women as well.
The Democrats have no idea what they're doing. They're gonna throw everything out there. So we got like the Hillary clones, right? We got like the centrists, which is the same thing, and then we got like everyone's telling them all the grassroots organizations are like, we need new blood, we need young faces. So they're like, oh, we're gonna start pulling out these young new blood faces like Castro and Beto and like which we'll get into at some point. But like they're just gonna throw everything out there in a desperate attempt to stifle Bernie Sanders.
It's the old throw everything against the wall, see what sticks.
Yeah.
Well, or court him if he doesn't run, because there's always that
He's
that. I hope so, but
Okay, so let me.
he's right.
I'm looking at the list. We have a whiteboard. We have a list. Let's just discuss the ones that we know are running.
As of this moment, who has declared?
Yeah,
Okay,
I don't
so
want to hear
as-
any wild cards yet.
Well,
First out of the bag was Warren. I'm sorry.
yeah,
What do you?
yeah, I was gonna say Warren's declared.
She was
for
first,
sure.
I believe, and followed by
Yeah, I
Castro.
think so. There,
Do you,
yeah,
do you have,
Castro.
do you
is-
have the R next to her because she's a Republican?
So yeah, I started marking the Republicans. Okay, so let's start with Elizabeth Warren.
Like, what can you tell us that's okay? We know. Here's the thing. I know the good about almost every single one of
Yeah,
these.
for sure.
I know the good.
Totally, I know all the good too, and I've like.
So I don't want to
I've-
hear the good.
And I've spoke to the good of maybe a half a dozen of these fucks.
I know that
And like, so I got on, and I'm like, I'm gonna find the shittiest thing that I can find for me politically that everybody's done. But Elizabeth Warren basically talked about being a Republican through the 90s, and her rationale was that she thought the Republicans were the ones that knew how to control the markets well. And what fucking pisses me off is that I watched her on that Michael Moore documentary, and then I watched her get that, what is that?
Michael Moore just put her on a nice silver shiny spoon.
Right, and then
Fed her to you.
Obama picked her up for
real quick.
Yeah.
I mean, the Republicans do kind of know how to control the markets better.
Yeah, but I don't.
It's
like,
just about who gains from those markets.
Exactly. And she is like more about giving back to the middle class. She thinks the markets are going to save the middle class. That's her fucking whole deal. But like, she's being run, at least in the circles that I hear, as this progressive candidate.
Oh yeah.
And then I read her proposal that she put up in the House last year about how it was gonna basically forming boards for industry like places that had to have a certain amount of employee input
and like a certain amount of $1 billion incoming every year.
Yeah, but like that's like it's like a tick. That's like, okay, we'll try to pick away at this capitalism thing.
Gradualism.
And it just seems crazy to me that that's the progressive candidate for the.
What's the worst thing you can tell us about Elizabeth Warren?
That
is there one thing
that she? Well, I mean, I don't know that there's one thing. To me, it's
the glaring thing.
It's
she used to be a Republican. She sticks her finger in the air to see which way the wind blows.
Yeah, a lot of them do that.
Right.
But my thing is,
she's not the hard left turn. She's not the hard left turn that we thought that we're hoping for, and that she's being marketed as.
Yeah, I mean,
for me, the thing is, if Bernie doesn't run, which he's going to run, he just staffed up, like he's going to run.
Okay.
But if he doesn't run, with who's available right now, including like the people that we're guessing are going to run, like Harris and maybe Kennedy, maybe Biden. I don't want her to be president. Like ideally, in an ideal world, she wouldn't ever be president. But if this is who we're having to choose from, that's my horse.
Elizabeth Warren.
Well, if your choice is this is
it.
the South Park like turd
Wait,
sandwich.
turd sandwich.
Who we're having to choose from
between Trump.
Between her and Trump?
Yeah, it's obvious.
Is that what you're saying? Oh yeah.
Yeah, but like that's a fucking poll, so.
Well, all of them.
You're saying over
you're saying
all
no
of
one.
them.
Democratic
and the
left,
Democratic
right
of the
if
people
no
who we
Bernie,
think are going to run. If there's no Bernie, because right now there's no one else. It's like it goes Bernie and then her. And I'm sure we'll discuss other candidates.
Cheetah maybe,
but
it's crazy though.
Here's my problem.
Well, hang on, real quick.
Sorry
to interrupt. Without comment, can we just announce who has declared at this point?
So everybody above the line on the whiteboard has
say 'em out
declared.
loud.
So Elizabeth Warren has declared. Kristen Gillibrand has declared. Both of those have declared
exploratory committees.
Is it Kristen or Kirsten?
Kirsten, excuse me.
All right.
And
so Warren, Gillibrand.
Warren, Gillibrand have. That's why they have stars. They have done.
They have formed
exploratory committees.
Okay.
Kamala Harris and Tulsi Gabbard are scheduled to announce 119. Both of them January 19th are scheduled to announce like whatever it is this Saturday.
Okay.
That they're going to run. Julian Castro, John Delaney, Richard Ojeda, excuse me, have all declared that they're going to run, and then there's like you said, legit like 40 fucking weirdos that have done FCC filings.
All right, so jumping back to what you were saying, Alex, of this pool,
right?
Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah, I mean it's not a horrible.
But here's my thing. She's not going to beat Trump though. That's why begrudgingly, I'm like, hey guys, let's all right, Elizabeth Warren, but she's not going to win.
Yeah, I agree.
And after Elizabeth Warren goes Tulsi.
I don't know. I think she could. I mean, it was
scary,
close between Trump and Hillary.
It actually wasn't close. Hillary won.
You know,
Hillary won.
That's what I'm saying. It was close.
I don't think you're Democratic.
As much as I'm like, there's puke coming out of my mouth.
I think
Hillary
Warren
won.
takes all those votes that Hillary got, and I think she totally picks up more because she is
you're not
infinitely
have
more likable
a
than Hillary.
DNC that's going to ignore the Electoral College again. They're not. Like, if they do, it's on them.
Oh, they'll make the same mistake.
Well, I'm just saying, out of all those, Elizabeth Warren's not going to go.
Elizabeth Warren ain't going to Ohio, man.
Oh no, she's totally going. I think she's. I think.
No,
I
they'll
think
make
that
the same
whoever
mistakes.
the candidate will.
Maybe Ohio.
I think
No,
she's
they'll
already been
be in
there.
every battleground. They will. They're not going to miss battlegrounds. It's not. It's like Wisconsin. She's going to go to Wisconsin.
I think you guys are forgetting how she's very, very polarizing and in a different way than Hillary Clinton.
That's true too.
So she has.
Sorry, it was a text from your wife.
Oh damn, that's cold.
Read it.
Son.
Read it.
Who has 2 thumbs and just pooped in the toilet? Ah, yeah. I'm assuming she's talking about your daughter.
Why are you on this text?
Hey, got to keep Unky Zach.
No, she
involved.
does. She like scrolls down and sees my name and clicks on it. So one time she sent me like a
there is a picture of your daughter with her thumbs up.
Ah.
That preceded that. So yeah.
Okay.
She sent me like a sweet message, like a kind of like Tinder message. But Tim, my stepfather, was also in the chain. Hannah was humiliated. But anyway, sorry guys. Let's all turn our phones off.
Yeah.
All right.
Right?
All right.
I mean, just for this, you know,
We're not boomers, dude. We don't have our phones interrupt things that are important.
Elizabeth Warren. I mean,
She's up
CFPB,
there. She's
great,
up on the top.
but I mean, I just
But
don't.
she didn't do it like she didn't make lasting change.
I don't think it's.
Mulvaney
I
rolled
don't think it's
everything
impossible
back.
that she beats. I should say. I think it's 50-50.
50-50.
It's even money.
Yeah.
In a race
to
against Trump.
even come out and say that the best possible candidate, I don't. Yeah,
Elizabeth Warren
is a 50-50 shot to beat the worst president in American history.
A Russian asset
dude,
under investigation.
Think of it this way: like the world's one of the biggest policy geeks in the world, like this total square of a woman versus Donald Trump,
and she has a 50-50 shot.
I don't think she can keep up with him. Like he doesn't play the same game that she plays.
Oh, she tried to come out with the Native American thing, and she just got checked down.
Imagine them in a debate together.
Some people worry that's Bernie's fault too, right? Like that's going to be the problem of Bernie is that he's policy based and not charismatic enough to compete with Trump that way. I'm not saying that. I'm just
but Bernie ignites. Bernie ignites the masses, dude, and he will pull a shit ton of support. And there's Republicans that love Bernie.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird, like those weird guys like Bernie too.
Yeah.
There's almost like unanimous, almost like support in this country for getting money out of politics.
That is the most popular, complaint.
Even Cory Booker said that shit finally.
Cory, Jesus Christ.
So do we want to talk about?
Oh, well, we can get into Booker. Later.
I don't want to do Booker.
Yeah,
at
but
all.
Booker's he's on the list. He's a piece of. I mean,
So
he's
Elizabeth
down the
Warren.
road.
Some of us think that she has a legitimate shot if she is the candidate of taking Trump out. It's
I hope you're right.
Yeah, it's in there.
That's all I'm saying because I don't think that the DNC is not
but-
going to. They're not going to support
But
Bernie.
let's not kid ourselves that she is leftist.
Oh no.
At all.
Yeah.
No.
And it's going to be a fight. If she got the nod, it would be a fight for her to get the office.
But I think centrists think that she's super lefty.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
the problem.
Exactly.
She's polarizing in a whole different way.
The next one like that.
Okay,
who's
let's
also
move
done
on.
a
Let's just-
committee is Gillibrand.
Let's do
And
Gillibrand.
So Gillibrand's crazy because as of late, she's hit really good spots. I used to watch Desus and Mero on YouTube. She went on there, did an hour-long interview on Desus and Mero, which is like some deeper hip-hop fun podcast. And she held her own, and I was like, "Oh shit, watch out for her."
She'll dish it back to Trump. I've heard her dish him shit.
For sure, she will. But she was also a Republican.
She's got the Tulsi problem, and that
she might be worse than Tulsi.
We have to give people the benefit of the doubt sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
That like it's like the Kevin Hart shit.
Well,
posted
they
in
are
Oscars.
under the largest microscope now.
Like we all have evolved as human beings, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But do we have to give presidential candidates that? Like, can't we find presidential candidates
That didn't need to
that
evolve.
were like, that like I used to be a skinhead, but now I'm anti-racist. It's like that's awesome. I don't know if I need you to be my president, right?
Yeah.
It makes me question your
and like
your ability to flip.
What's her name? Gillibrand?
Oh, so Gillibrand.
Is that how you say it? Or Gillibrand?
I think it's Gillibrand.
Kirsten Gillibrand.
Philip Morris. That's all you got to say. And she's been accused of hiding information for Philip Morris.
Philip Morris, attorney, $23,000 in 06, $18,000 in 08. And
is there something wrong with being a high-powered attorney for a tobacco company?
Well, see, the only thing is that she's running for the Democrat presidential race, and that
shit.
she was appointed to her Senate hole, which was the hole Hillary left when she was nominated Secretary of State. The problem is that like when she ran for the House in 04 and won, she won as a right centrist. She run on a campaign of no illegal amnesty, rights protection, and like so she was accused by the Republicans in her place that she was more right than the Republican candidate.
Jesus Christ.
So she what happened is when she basically went to the governor of New York when he was filling the Senate seat left by Hillary Clinton.
Mm-hmm.
She went in and greased the wheels, and the week before came out, contacted a bunch of LBGTQ like groups, advocates, said, I'm completely for gay marriage. Then she found all these other liberal-leaning things and just went and contacted everybody, changed her stance on basically everything from where she run.
She's dancing the dance, dude. She's dancing the dance.
And then got appointed to a Senate seat. Then she was like, because I lived in Tucson when Gabby Giffords got shot.
Wait,
it was like
are you saying the Cuomos can be bought? Is that what we're saying here?
What?
Episode 1.
The thing is that Gillibrand Giffords and Debbie Wasserman Schultz were like thick as thieves. Those are like, they were best friends in Congress. They did everything together. So I just kind of have a hard time believing that she's not back in establishment with the leftovers of what happened, what blew up the DNC.
She's not purchasable.
She shares a problem that Harris is going to have, that they've had Republicans run to their left.
Yeah.
You know, like Harris with 3 strikes.
Oh, Harris. That's basically what I wrote. Is like
Gillibrand. Yeah, I don't know enough
prosecutor.
about her yet. I guess we'll kind of just wait and see. But I'm not impressed at the moment. Gillibrand.
Yeah, she flips a lot. She's saying the right things.
Why is there slash Al Franken?
Oh, because she spearheaded the.
She did.
Get
okay, you're
Al
right.
Franken removed,
and that is
that's
something
horrible
that is
to me.
Oh,
I don't
get
think
Al Franken the fuck out of there.
Well, I mean, I think that he was a great mouthpiece
in
and
her
a great
behalf.
senator.
Like I'm not going to vote for her. She did a lot. She has a proven record for women's rights.
Yeah, and I think she went overboard with Al Franken, and I think
Fuck
it
that.
was
Hillary supporter. Give him the fuck
that?
out of there. Hillary superdelegate Al Franken.
So going back when we were talking about Warren and we were talking about her running against Trump, if Gillibrand, I hate to say it, I think she might have a better chance, like duking
more
it out with Trump.
charismatic, more
Yeah,
loud.
no, she's gone after Trump.
Like
has.
I'm trying to, in my mind's eye, picture the debates between Elizabeth Warren and Donald Trump.
Yeah, it's not going to go well.
And I'm like, oh, dear Lord.
No, it's not going to go well.
Yeah.
Insane.
No, Trump will destroy her. He'll destroy her.
She can't clap
Kamala
back.
Harris would
she
do
can't
good.
clap back.
in
She can't do it.
Like I don't want Kamala Harris to be the candidate, but she would do very well in a debate.
Well, I
stage.
think
You know who would
both
kill
her
Trump?
and Gillibrand, but that's probably the difference between an attorney and an economics professor.
Well,
You
and,
know
and
who would
that,
kill Trump is AOC.
real talk, dude.
But she can't.
2024.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying, she'll get
She
it.
would
24.
destroy
She's
Trump.
the most popular Twitter politician behind that fuck.
She'll run circles
she's
around
killing
everybody.
it right
and
now.
they won't even talk about any.
She's killing it with the 70% marginal tax rate. She's killing it with everything. Like I was talking shit on her
Agree to
early.
disagree there though.
What?
70%.
What? Too low?
Yeah.
Of course it is.
Okay, let's move on. Let's do Jeff's favorite candidate, Kamala Harris.
Who? Oh, it's not my favorite. I just
It's
thought,
okay, so it's not the one that you would.
I think that's the one that's going to be
That's
it.
the one you think it's going to be.
And
The,
I think it's
the
I think it's the
candidate
smartest one for all the reasons we've just talked
that Obama
about.
wants to fuck the most.
Yeah,
No,
I wrote Obama with boobs.
The candidate that is very quick to put a regular person in jail, but not prosecute a banker.
Yeah.
You
So-
all have a really good, beautiful attorney general in this state.
You
big
could hand
deal.
her every banker post 2008.
She had a dope
wouldn't slap the
mixtape,
cuffs
though.
on one of
She
them.
did just release a dope mixtape. I'm not even gonna lie. That shit had Tribe. It had everything. But I feel like it was curated. It was like, oh my gosh.
You shouldn't be able to listen to hip hop and also support 3 Strikes.
Well, and that's the thing about her that I wrote down. As a prosecutor, this is fucking crazy. So in San Francisco, as a prosecutor in California, she made the conviction rate raised from 52% to 67% in her tenure.
Damn.
That's how many people were incarcerated, probably for weed, just from fucking Kamala Harris being like,
How many
no, you go
bankers
to
did she
fucking
prosecute
jail.
after 2008?
0.
With Eric Holder?
None. Yeah.
None.
And so, like,
You think that's
there's
going
a
to play
lot.
well with Trumper bases?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
It's crazy.
Something about her that really bothered me was I watched a clip, and I'm just gonna don't quote me verbatim here, but like someone asked her about marijuana reform and her history with it, and she just laughs.
Yeah,
and I was like, marijuana might seem like a trivial issue to you, but there's 18-year-olds who are denied financial aid to go to college because they have a marijuana bust. There's people who are spending years in prison.
We've done this math. There's around, I'll look it up again next week and check back, but there's around 100,000 people in jail right now in the United States just for weed.
And just possession, not sale. That's devoid of sale. We're talking about possession.
Around 100,000 people locked in a cage.
It may seem like a small number in comparison to the millions
to the
we fucking put in jail
2.1 million in jail right now.
Yeah. But
get
it's
it,
a lot.
guys. You get it. You like weed, all right?
Should we go into Richie Ojeda?
Hold on. I got.
Oh, you got more Kamalas on us?
Something for Harris here.
Oh, the only okay. Can you pull up the Richard Ojeda ad from when he ran in West Virginia?
I can try to find it.
See if you can find it.
And dude, he was just on the
because he can deliver. Yeah. He can deliver an ad like nobody's else.
And
like nobody else.
I'm going to tell you right now.
But I don't trust him.
There is no better crossover candidate in the field to pull Trump supporters
because he's a goddamn Marine.
And he's from West Virginia, and he voted for Trump.
Yes, he did.
It's really fucking crazy.
See if you can pull his ad.
I'm gonna find that ad. He's nuts because, like I said, he has like nobody else that's running on the Democratic ticket has a chance to pull a Trump supporter.
This guy has a line in one of his political ads that I saw when he was running in West Virginia. That was something along the lines of "Thou shalt not darken my doorstep," and I was like, "That's some badass shit, dude."
Dude, he's a fucking thick, like jarhead. Right? It's like, you know what? Fucking Trump didn't do what he's supposed to. He's supposed to take care of us. And I'm like, oh god.
I'm looking across the room. You're telling me this guy on your screen is not John Cena?
You can see him. That's the difference.
See if you can pull up a political ad for this guy.
I don't get it.
No, I don't trust this guy at all. But
oh my god, this is the guy that was holding the camera in the video you posted the other day, Alex.
Real shit.
That video was so good. Oh my!
That's got to be it.
You have got to get on our Facebook group if you're listening to this.
I'm Richard Ojeda, and people say that I'm angry. Well, angry is an understatement. When I come home and I find that I got children in my backyard that have it worse than the kids that I saw in Iraq and Afghanistan, I can't accept that. When I see companies using bankruptcy loopholes to keep from paying our coal miners the pensions that they worked for, I will not sit quiet. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been sold out. We've been sold out by people like Nancy Pelosi,
Mitch McConnell, jacked
and the
up.
Washington Insiders. I approve this message because I am angry and I'm ready to fight
energy
back.
drink.
Yes, damn right.
Hell yeah, dude! I'm voting for this dude.
Oh, this dude, he gets me
shit,
fucking
we all just
pumped.
converted.
Oh shit!
Wait, was he wearing shants?
Ojeda.
Was he wearing shants?
He was wearing shants.
Give me a
and they were
shirt,
khaki
dude.
with khaki pockets.
I need a T-shirt right now. Do they sell?
I'm telling you,
t-shirts?
the guy seems like a total mark, but he gets me pumped up. I see his political ads, I get pumped up, dude.
I just watched
a Democrat calling out Pelosi like that? That shit does not exist.
Interview, and he was like, I know Trump was a fucking dick, but he came through and he promised all the people where I live that he was going to hook us up and save our fucking lives, and then he didn't, and we're like, fuck you.
Yeah.
But he is like. He's borderline, bro. Like, but everybody else is borderline Republican.
I'm on board. I hope Bernie doesn't run.
He totally supported Bernie.
Have you never seen that guy's political ad during the midterms? Oh, dude, it was
He
clowning.
totally supports Bernie. He loves Bernie, but he's running for president. He's like,
I think we just found Bernie's vice president pick.
Oh, shit!
Oh, unstoppable! And that guy would take a bullet for Bernie, dude.
Take a bullet? Oh, he'd crush Trump too.
Oh,
crush him in a debate.
He's yoked, dude, and
That's
he's
the
got
first time-
he's got a scary high jarhead.
Is this the first time you've seen
That's
this
the
guy?
first time we're gonna have to demand a president-vice president debate, dude. Get them two in a room together.
All I'm saying is in that commercial, that dude looked like he was like 5'5". It just has to be said.
Yeah, it's true. But he's jacked though, son. Like
So when he was running
he's coming.
against the incumbent in West Virginia, he did an ad specifically about her and her favorship and like pharma money that she's been taking in. So he went on there and he was saying her name, and he's like, I don't know if her name's Nancy. I'm just going to use that. And he's like, Nancy did this, and Nancy. And I was like, oh, this dude's fucking
Well, he
clowning.
came back. I just watched him on the Young Turks, and the dude was like, I was in Iraq, and then you come back and you find out every soldier gets $200 a day for food. And he was like, I was washing my ass in a goddamn river. And I was just like, this guy's fucking magic, dude.
I don't know if I can trust him, but if the world's burning, fuck it, man.
How about his team?
Well, like I said, if I'm looking at what we just said, if Bernie doesn't run and we go Elizabeth Warren is the best bet and she's a centrist Republican kind of Democrat, like, does that make me worried about his Republican leanings? His Republican leanings are just dumb shit. He'll figure it out. I don't know, man. When I watched up,
he gets me jacked. I remember watching him during the midterms.
He's gonna replace Tulsi for you, dude. Like that fool's.
Yeah, that's a hard. Man, I'm hurting, dog.
Amber Frost from Chapo wrote an article that's on our Facebook group.
It's a great article.
It's Bernie bitch, and then she talked about it on Chapo, and
did she say we just sit here and we wrote half of it ball washing the shit out of Bernie in really great fashion?
No, what she said is that we need to support Bernie right out the gate.
Yeah.
Don't play these fucking games. He's the only hope we have. He's the most popular candidate in the United States, Republican or Democrat.
100%.
And he is the only one who's easily going to beat Trump. And that we shouldn't get caught up in these fucking affairs. Get your shit together. It's fucking Bernie, bitch.
Yeah,
and dude, I'm full on board with that. Like,
absolutely.
Don't even
politician
give
in the country.
Anyone a second thought. Like, don't be like, oh, can this person beat Trump? Is this person more likely to do this? Is this sexist that I don't like Tulsi? Like, fuck all that. It's Bernie.
On your list, on the whiteboard list, Jeff, I see it says Julian Castro, and then it says, who the fuck is this guy?
Okay, like, I get it. Like, okay, first off, he got a twin brother, which reminds me of those twin bad guys from Cobra and G.I. Joe. Do you remember those? They were like, I don't know why. Him and his brother always, had a cabinet position with
I never
Obama.
Heard of this dude. Never heard
so
of
he
this
was,
dude.
I don't really, I have to look it up what the cabinet position, but he was the mayor of San Antonio.
I should care about that. Why?
He is
I have no clue.
Well, he
delivered a keynote in 2016 DNC. That's why.
That, yeah. And he comes from a very activist family, but
Big
his
time.
issue is that he is leftist light, like all of them.
Yeah.
So once again, the Democrats are trying to shove new blood, young blood, new faces because they hear that that's what we want.
The only thing I've heard about him is that he has a lot of money behind him.
And so he does have some interesting PAC support for his previous campaigns. And then you know that he's leftist light because he campaigning on Medicare for all.
He is campaigning on that.
For all.
Okay.
Just like Beto, though, but no...
Beto was not, though. He would not sign on to Medicare for all.
He says it's an interesting idea or
He would not
something
sign on.
Right.
No.
Fucking.
But just like most of the candidates, just like Warren, I believe, and it is early for this, but they have no plan for it. It's just something that they're saying.
Their fingers in the air. Well. They're waiting for the win.
He was HUD. So he was the HUD development.
He's the Mexican Obama. Or I think he's Cuban. He's the Latin Obama.
He's the Latin Obama.
Where he's like young, he's fresh,
Folks,
you don't know he's fresh, fool.
Just like his Uncle Fidel, he's going to come in here.
He's going to start starting
He's going to privatize everything.
Oh, I could hear it already.
Oh, you can tell he's liberal light.
Absolutely.
He's leftist light because he's pulling for 2 years of free college. Not the 4. Before I even start debating with my Republican colleagues,
right?
I'm going to say, how about 2?
2.
As if you could find the middle ground between
no, I mean,
the leftist
anybody
and the
knows,
centrist.
Yeah,
anybody knows in a
Do
bargain,
that.
you shoot high, expecting to get cut down.
But then
so you always shoot for 4.
You're going to alienate the leftists and the possible
God damn it,
Democrat-leading
man.
Trump, like Republicans.
They're not going to get. They're not.
Hey,
gonna
but like,
figure
does
this out.
anybody ever notice that that a president doesn't make legislation? So it's like not really about.
Well, we've been running on executive orders for like a decade.
Well, yeah, that's true.
I mean, that's all. That's all
like,
we're doing.
Julian
is
Castro
executive
isn't going to
orders.
come in and write legislation to give people 2 years of free. He can like sign the legislation that Congress makes, but like he's not going to do that. That's
Congress
the other
doesn't
part.
make
It's
any
like,
legislation.
Well, the president.
Ain't that the real? I mean, he signs off. He
leads.
directs. He leads. Yeah,
He
but
asks, he can ask
in this
if he
day and
has
age-
control over the House and the Senate. He can ask for legislation.
Obama ran
He
this
can-
country for 8 years on executive orders.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, Obama. This is neither here nor there. But the worst president at expanding executive powers that we've ever had.
Right.
But
But George W. Bush opened the door
Or the
with
best.
the wiretapping.
The best.
Yeah, like I
If you're not
totally
a
agree.
pessimist.
I totally agree exactly what you're saying. But George W. Bush opened it with the wiretapping and the Patriot Act and all that stuff. That like, oh, if we're at constant state of war, then we have constant executive privilege.
the Patriot Act, that the renewal of which Harris voted for.
Exactly.
Ooh.
Well, and that would leave us what?
Who the fuck is John Delaney?
John
Does
Delaney's
he have a
Maryland.
Netflix special?
He's
to-
from
to
Maryland.
stand up?
Isn't he the dad from Frasier?
He like falls into like deeper than Julian Castro, but these guys have already fucking.
What is in it for these guys?
I think a lot like the only other
Do
person.
they just want to like solidify their position in whatever
No,
current?
a lot of
office
times
they're holding?
In his head, he thinks he got burning out of the last campaign.
so that he's going to be burning
he
now.
was burning out very early in the 2016, and he thinks that now is his chance.
Well, and then the last one, the declared. Well, it's going to declare.
It's
This
going to
weekend.
really suck for him then when he gets burning out again.
Is this when I'm going to get my feelings hurt?
Yeah,
on?
you get feelings hurt. So
All
we'll
right.
finish
Hey,
off.
get the tissue.
Finish off the round of
Okay,
Tulsi
so
Gabbard.
yeah, I mean, if anybody who has known me personally over the last, I'd say, year and a half, I've been pushing the Tulsi Gabbard shit for quite some time. So I kind of thought I found
Not just you, bro. Not just you.
not just
Yeah,
me,
not you,
just me,
not just you.
But
as far as me amongst my group of friends,
to put a fine
Yeah.
point on it, you bought my baby
I did
a Tulsi T-shirt.
a Bernie 2020 Tulsi shirt.
Yeah.
I
Which
was
is cool. Like,
yeah.
I-
I mean,
I-
I thought
I
I
like Tulsi
thought I
too.
found a legitimate diamond in the rough. I mean, I've so you have like Ron Paul, right? I'm like libertarian piece of garbage.
Love him, yeah.
But you'd hear like Ron Paul talk about foreign policy, and I'm like, yeah, like he's spot on. And I would hear somebody like Tulsi Gabbard talk foreign policy, and I'm like, yeah, she's spot on, 100%. Medicare for all. She has, she grew up in politics. Her dad was a Republican politician in Hawaii forever, so she kind of had to, I guess, play the role. The gay marriage thing is super disturbing. I just thought I thought I found it. I don't know. It's not looking so good anymore.
No,
and
but
that-
let's
her
list
dad was the
her
one that-
pros first, right? Like number
Foreign
one,
policy
she
was
surfs.
Ooh.
Number two, she says aloha instead of hello or goodbye.
And she's kind of cute too. Don't
She's
miss
cute,
how
yeah.
that works on the American
doesn't matter to me,
population.
but-
Cute.
Disgusting man.
Yeah.
Obama, you just said fresh-faced Julian Castro, dog. Chill out.
I think like 90% of her foreign policy is interventionist, and that's fine with me.
Here's where I'm at with Tulsi.
Anti-interventionist, sorry.
She just wants to pull out of major
Yeah,
wars
no,
because she's
I
been in the
absolutely
military.
want to as well.
Well, here's
Yeah.
where I'm at with her. I'm glad she's running. I probably am not gonna
Even if
throw my
her
support to her. I'm looking forward to her explaining herself and explaining some awful like her pulling back on her support for Syrian refugees. It's
Right.
just like
Visiting
that
Assad.
hurts. That hurts.
Visiting Assad was tough.
she was also visiting Assad when we were doing a lot of weird stuff where we're like, who's dropping all these bombs over there? Who is it? I don't know
Real
who it is.
shit.
It's Assad. And from me, I'm
playing
like,
proxy
listen, man, I
wars.
don't believe anything the American government tells
Yep,
me as
I
far as
agree.
who's dropping a bomb. So if Tulsi wants to go over there and find out herself,
that
fine.
one doesn't bother me.
That doesn't
much.
bother me at all.
And she explained it like you need to meet with people you don't like if
Right.
you want peace, kind of thing.
Right.
I'm looking forward to her dragging. I think she is genuine about her some of her more leftist positions, whereas I think that people like Castro and others, they're just looking for the cookie cutter answer that's going to please the most
Yeah.
people. And so I think that her being in it, just like Warren, they're going to drag the
She should
the
expose the
Overton
other
window, the
candidates.
discussion and
Yeah.
campaigns.
She should expose the other candidates.
She's going
on
to
their
drag it left
inconsistencies.
in different ways. Like Warren and her are going to drag it left, and I'm glad that they're in it.
And see, those two to me, not Warren as much, but they present the least amount of domestic policy and like progressive change in that area, and that's why I don't like those two.
Interesting tidbit about Tulsi and Warren, oddly enough, is the first thing that put Tulsi on my radar was her ditching the DNC after they screwed
After
Bernie,
they fucked Bernie.
and jumping with Bernie, and Elizabeth Warren stuck by Hillary. So that's just an interesting little thing in case you don't know.
Yeah.
Well, and then
Elizabeth
her-
Warren and Al Franken can go kick rocks. Am I
Kick 'em.
right?
Yeah.
Her father also, sponsored the like anti
Terrible Republican gross policies.
and she supported this conversion therapy group up through 2002, 2004.
I'd like to
somewhere
know
in
what
there.
that means, though.
That means
Supported. Like, what is
it
that?
means that she met with them and she did PR with them.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know there were Hawaiian Republicans.
Real talk.
Yeah, this is very odd. Her dad's been a politician in Hawaii for
My thing
decades.
is that everything I can find on her that she's talked about gay rights, she's talked about equal rights for gay Americans and gay people, and
But nothing about
LGBTQ,
gay marriage.
but never
That's
explaining.
odd. That is odd.
And that's the deal. And
Yeah.
for me, like
This is 2019.
I have two gay sisters, and it's a kind of a like it's not in my life other than that, but it's a kind of a huge deal. And when gay marriage was legalized, they all got married. And they should be with the people they're with, but they did it because it was like their chance at doing it.
Yeah, and regardless of whether I have two gay sisters or not, I mean, this should be across the board.
Yeah,
but
it
it should be across the board.
But it shouldn't be. We shouldn't be questioning.
Jeff's twice as good as
No,
us.
in 2019 we should not be
For
questioning
the
that.
platform, that shouldn't be a question.
Absolutely not.
Like that's crazy.
Well,
it's not
yeah.
something that's like debatable. It's like no, that's equal
Again,
rights
like
under the law.
if a person off the street, because perhaps I think it might be for religious reasons that she has these feelings about.
I don't
about
find her
gays.
religious at all.
Isn't she Hindi?
Well, she has a background like family, like traditional wise, but I don't. Okay, I
No,
guess
she
when you
has
say
said
religion,
that she doesn't think religion should play a role in presidential elections.
God, I'm so used to politicians pulling the Christian card.
But I think that I get, and I might
Do
be
not
totally
offer my
off base
God a
here.
peanut.
But I think that it's religious. It's a religious reason that she's not very forward thinking on homosexuality.
Okay.
And if there's a person like on the street that's like, yeah, I think homosexuality is a sin, but I also think that that our secular society and government shouldn't take that into account when they make rules. I'd be like, I like you more than I like your counterpart.
Yeah.
Someone who does. And I think that we should have a conversation about this part. But then it comes back to this person is running for president. Can't we get someone who's been that way, like been supportive of that since day one?
The whole time.
And the answer is no, because there's no Gen Xers. There's very few Gen Xers.
Well, and everybody in politics is just so petrified of bucking the trend. I mean, nobody wants to be the one that makes the first move. You got an old crazy guy who's been saying the same shit for fucking 40 years, who people ignore the hell out of.
And we didn't talk about him because he's not declared yet. But like real shit, like you can't find anything
consistent.
You can't find anything in like 40 years of service. You go back to his voting record. The most you can ever nitpick at is like immigration, or some people would nitpick with gun rights.
He's like the guy in that like Armageddon dystopian movie who's like the crazy guy nobody's listening to. He's like saying the truth, He's like,
can't hold his papers. They're all flying around. He's freaking out. Nobody listened.
If you were going to like, what's the name of that 80s movie? They make a woman.
Weird Science.
If you were going to Weird Science a candidate, he wouldn't be Bernie's age.
But he would look
it's
like
not the
Kelly
best
LeBrock's
situation,
son.
right? And they're going to try
But
to
he would
make
definitely be he, right?
fair enough.
Ooh,
damn.
It's full circle.
Are not going to be Bernie's age. I'm saying that's not that's not something that we would. He's going to catch a lot of flack for that.
Yeah, he's old. He's old as fudge.
He's not that much older than the
He's got that skinny old guy though. Like you could,
He was a
I can
track
put on
star.
more
He was a
20. You
track
can put on
star.
20 more. I'm not.
Star. Anyways.
But there is something to be said that like the people on the other side of the aisle, we use their age to talk about them as how they're out of the zeitgeist and they don't understand what's going on. That's my only worry, is not with Bernie right now and not with his policy, but is that like, does he resonate enough with everybody else? Does he even understand enough the generations below him? It's not all policies.
Yes.
I think we should all do him a favor and not play into any shady maneuver type narrative that they're going to try to crush him.
That's coming
so
from the
fucking hard.
Democrats.
Absolutely.
That's
We should not
the
even
age
play
talk
into
is
any
coming
of that.
from the Democrats.
Well, it's in me.
He
It's
doesn't like
a
black.
legitimate
Black people
Republicans
like
don't
him
even
talk.
have to attack
It's coming
Bernie.
from
The Democrats will do
But
it for
there's
him.
legitimate concerns. The black people, him not resonating with black people, that's why he does things with like Killer Mike, because that way he can sit down and do a long form and people can understand that he really does resonate. But some of it is getting out in there, but some of it is that he's like a 75-year-old white dude.
Fucking own that shit, dude. I'm old. I don't give a fuck what anyone says.
That's true.
Right?
We have a president like that right now.
That's
except he cares so much.
Yeah, that's true.
He's a thirsty bitch.
I don't think he's too old to run. I do think it's a concern. I think it's a legitimate question. I don't think it's like, oh, this made up media bias against
What if
him.
you got Richard Ojeda running Vice?
Fucking
dude?
that might be the new lead, son.
An official
And he would do
LaCroix Underground endorsement.
Richard Ojeda.
Sanders Ojeda.
Holy
2020.
fuck! Sit the fuck down.
I can't. I don't know enough about him yet. Like I seriously just figured out
But
about
he's
this dude
exciting.
today.
He's exciting, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure it's a shit show.
No.
Oh yeah, it's a mess.
Honestly,
Remember that guy that was running that like ran like the large cat reserve?
I do drugs.
I just like we in California. We had the governor recall. We've seen some fucking crazy elections, but that motherfucker right there. I haven't found a hole in his argument yet.
It's funny because he's totally like he says all the right
You've got to be
stuff.
so high to think that the Democratic Party is going to put up 2 old white men as a ticket.
For sure. I know it's gonna
No
be
way in
it's gonna be
hell,
Kamala
dude.
Harris with Gillibrand or Warren as the vice. But
You think they're going to run 2 women?
Yeah, I totally do.
I mean, I don't have a problem
I
with
do
that.
think I do think they're going to run Harris over either 2 of those because of what they did to keep her on the Senate Judiciary.
Right.
So they gave up Republican seats on the Senate Judiciary to keep Kamala Harris there.
President Trump then is
I think
an 8-year president.
Yeah,
think
and I
if
mean
you're-
that's
if
not.
Harris is not going to beat Trump. She's another Hillary. It's just.
Oh, I think she resonates more. I think she's Hillary plus Obama. I think you're completely right with her platform and what she's going to do, and you're right. But I think that to America, she's a spicy ass woman of color that will give him shit. Like she'll give him shit, and she's gonna go nuts on that judiciary the next year. Watch it. You're going to have all these little 10-minute sound bites of her being like, fuck you, fucking Jared Kushner. I got your ass. Like, because that's what she does. She puts motherfuckers in jail.
Let's rate that on the racist scale, like 1 to 10.
The whole impersonation thing.
Fuck you! I got your ass. Exactly.
I got you, sucker.
I apologize. I was feeling myself.
I was still hung up on the spicy.
She is spicy, dude. She's spicy as shit. She's not Eric Holder. Eric Holder is a prosecutor, and Eric Holder would be like, I don't like the thing that you're doing.
Remember when
knock 'em
Biden
all
called?
out.
Remember when Biden called Obama so articulate?
Oh Jesus, Joey.
That's what you just did.
We're saving Joey B, the
as a
meme
friend,
lord,
I'm
for
gonna
next
tell
episode.
you to stay away from spicy and fiery.
Fiery is bad too.
Going forward, referencing Kamala Harris.
I meant
What's
it
the one
in
for
respect
Asians?
to her prosecution.
Inscrutable.
Do not call Asians inscrutable.
Till next time.